White House counselor Kellyanne Conway has this uncanny ability to not answer a question even when she actually answers a question. To be honest, sometimes watching her do these linguistic gymnastics when answering a question is quite remarkable. Sure, we know she's lying and we know she's deflecting and trying to change the subject and go down a different path, but the way she does it, I mean, you gotta admire it just a little bit. Take, for example, what happened earlier this week when Kellyanne Conway was asked by the White House press corps about the status of Trump's wall, the government shutdown and all that. They wanted to know about the wall, and this is what Kellyanne Conway had to say.
Kellyanne, there's a new poll out showing that 71%.
Do you have the poll? Do you have the poll question? No, but I just want to see the question.
The question was, is the wall worth the government shutdown?
And so why would that be the question? Why is that a good question? And I'm asking you why you're still saying wall when the president has said, I'm asking why you in the polling questions respectfully are still saying wall when the president said you can call it whatever you want, call it steel slat barriers, call it. Well, I was in the Situation Room when he said to Leader Schumer, Minority Leader Schumer, that you can, that's a great slogan, build a wall and crime will fall. Well, we know that's true. Again, are we afraid of that? Right, he calls it wall, steel slat barrier, physical barrier, anything. In other words, we need a physical barrier that you can't crawl under, climb over, drive through, or walk around. That's why I have doors in my house. I assume you do also, and they actually have locks on them. In other words, it's to protect the people on the inside. And so I don't understand why it's so difficult to get beyond what you all want to make. Well, most of you want to make a 4-letter word wall, when the president said to Chuck Schumer very specifically, and the president has said many times since publicly, call it what you want to call it, but let's secure our border.
So it's not a wall, except it is a wall. And Donald Trump says don't call it a wall, but also Trump says call it whatever the hell you want to call it. But Kellyanne says don't call it a wall, call it a steel barrier, steel slats, a border barrier, an invisible fence. Who gives a shit what you call it? Just don't call it a wall, right? That's what she's telling us here. None of that even makes any sense because she does on multiple occasions in that little, minute-long diatribe contradicts herself with every other thing that she says, like this is different than this, which is different than this, which contradicts that. It's insanity. This woman has no idea what she is talking about. All she is trying to do is redirect the conversation to something else. You want to ask me about policy, but I want to talk to you about semantics. That's what she did there. And now we're on to the thing like, well, your home has doors, so why not have a border wall? That's how desperate and stupid this administration has gotten. You have doors in your house, so why not have a border wall? Well, for starters, my house is my personal property. The border wall is separating a country. That's what a border is. It separates a country. That's not anybody's personal property, right? That's land. That's earth. We cannot just put up walls and say you are not allowed over here when legally they are allowed to come over here through the correct avenues. However, you're also talking about literally taking private property from American citizens in order to have the space to actually build the border wall. So you're talking about doors and, walls at your own home. You're literally taking people's homes or want to take people's homes, would have to take people's homes in order to build your stupid wall / steel slat / border barrier. Kellyanne, it doesn't matter what people call it. It does not matter. What matters is that the majority of people in this country do not want it. They want our government reopened, and they want the government reopened without providing the president a single dollar to build whatever the hell it is you want to call it along the southern border. One of today's video sponsors is Blinkist.com/Ring of Fire. Blinkist.com is a website, an app that actually takes nonfiction books and condenses them into very short reads or 15-minute audiobooks. The first 100 users right now who go to Blinkist.com/Ring of Fire are going to get a 7-day free trial. That's 7 days to browse through Blinkist's entire library and download, read however many you want during that free trial period. And then after that, using that Blinkist.com/ringofire link that's in the description of this video, you'll get 25% off your membership. Here's what's so great about this. You can listen to a 15-minute audiobook on your way to work. And Blinkist.com condenses these, takes the key points, the vital information that you need to know, and gives it to you in this easily digestible format. It's perfect, especially in my line of work when I have to go through books at breakneck speed just to be able to get the information. Blinkist.com does it for you and delivers it to you in these very quick and easy links. Here's the thing. Only the first 100 users are going to get that 7-day free trial, so make sure you click on that link to sign up. Blinkist.com/ringofire.